What happens when a calm night at a New York City pizzeria turns into a nightmare straight out of a horror movie? A pit bull attack, a vicious brawl, and a shocking fight for survival that left an entire neighborhood in disbelief. Tonight, we unravel the gripping tale of courage, chaos, and consequences in one of the most chilling animal encounters we've ever covered. Stay tuned. It's a story you won't forget. Welcome back to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, the channel where we explore the most shocking, heart-pounding and jaw-dropping moments between humans and animals. From wild animal attacks in remote jungles to unexpected encounters in the heart of bustling cities, we dive deep into the stories that leave you on the edge of your seat. In today's episode, we're taking you to the streets of Manhattan's iconic Fifth Avenue, where a routine night at a pizzeria spiraled into chaos, leaving one worker critically injured and a community shaken. You won't believe the series of events that led to this terrifying showdown with a pit bull and its owner. Stick around, because we're breaking down every chilling detail. If you're captivated by stories that explore the wild and unpredictable connections between humans and animals, this is the channel for you. Hit that like button if you're ready to dive into today's shocking tale. Share this video with your friends and family so they can join the conversation about this incredible story. Leave a comment below to let us know your thoughts. Was this preventable? Could things have been handled differently? We want to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to Savage Tales Animal Encounters for more jaw-dropping stories that will have you glued to your screen. Ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Trust us, every episode is one wild ride. Sit back, buckle up, and get ready for another unforgettable journey into the unpredictable world of Savage Tales Animal Encounters. Because here, the stories are savage and the tales are wild. Savage Tales Animal Encounters, where humanity meets the untamed. On a typical Monday evening in the heart of Manhattan's Flatiron District, the vibrant hum of Fifth Avenue set the scene for another bustling night at Roma Pizzeria. Known for its welcoming atmosphere and classic New York-style pizza, the small eatery was manned by a 50-year-old worker and his colleagues, ready to serve locals and tourists alike. But as the clock neared 10 p.m., an unexpected visitor walked through the door, setting the stage for a confrontation that no one could have anticipated. Tyshawn Watson, a 35-year-old man from New Jersey, entered the pizzeria with his pit bull Dior in tow. The dog was unleashed, a clear violation of health regulations that prohibit animals from being inside food establishments. The worker behind the counter, adhering to the rules and aiming to maintain the cleanliness of the space, politely informed Watson that the dog could not remain inside. What began as a seemingly routine request quickly escalated into a heated exchange. Watson, visibly frustrated, argued with the worker, his voice rising as he expressed his displeasure. Customers in the vicinity turned to watch as the tension grew palpable. According to sources, the worker attempted to defuse the situation, explaining that the rules were not personal but rather mandated for public safety. Despite the worker's efforts to de-escalate, Watson's anger intensified. He accused the staff of treating him unfairly and began using profane language, his frustration boiling over. Eyewitnesses later recounted that Watson's demeanor became increasingly aggressive, his body language shifting from defensive to confrontational. As the argument continued, Watson moved closer to the counter, gesturing animatedly, while Dior, the pit bull, remained by his side, calm yet alert to the escalating emotions of his owner. The worker, now growing wary of the situation, stood his ground but maintained a respectful tone, reiterating the shop's policy. However, Watson's rage reached a tipping point when he reportedly stepped behind the counter, a clear violation of personal space that signaled the situation was spiraling out of control. Another employee attempted to intervene, but the atmosphere in the pizzeria had already turned volatile. And then, in the blink of an eye, the encounter shifted from a verbal altercation to something far more dangerous. What happened next would leave one man fighting for his life and an entire community grappling with the aftermath of an unimaginable act of violence. As the tension in Roma Pizzeria reached its breaking point, Tyshawn Watson's fury boiled over into violence. What had begun as a dispute over health regulations erupted into a harrowing scene of unprovoked aggression. Watson lunged at the 50-year-old worker, shattering the fragile line between words and physical confrontation. Watson's initial attack was swift and relentless. He pushed past the counter, striking the worker with a barrage of punches. The sheer force of his blows sent shockwaves through the small pizzeria, startling customers and staff alike. Attempts by a co-worker to intervene were met with hostility as Watson's focus remained locked on his first target. But the chaos wasn't confined to the pizzeria's interior for long. Watson grabbed the worker and dragged him out of the eatery, the scuffle spilling onto the sidewalk of bustling Fifth Avenue. There, under the glare of streetlights and the gaze of passers-by, the violence escalated further. Watson slammed the worker to the ground with alarming force, his anger now unrestrained. The sound of the worker's body hitting the pavement echoed through the street. With the worker incapacitated, Watson unleashed another wave of brutal attacks. He kicked the man repeatedly in the head, each strike more vicious than the last. Witnesses later recounted the sickening thuds of the kicks, describing them as calculated and merciless. It was clear Watson intended to inflict maximum harm. Amidst the onslaught, Watson's pit bull, Dior, sprang into action. The unleashed dog leaped onto the prone worker, its instincts seemingly triggered by the chaos. The pit bull bit the victim multiple times, clamping down on his arms, legs and torso as onlookers watched in horror. Blood stained the pavement as the worker struggled to escape the dual assault, but his strength waned under the relentless combination of kicks and bites. In a brief pause, Watson stood back and surveyed the scene, as though deciding his next move. Then, as if to ensure the man could not recover, he delivered another series of kicks to the worker's head. Eyewitnesses reported that Watson's actions were deliberate, as if he intended to leave the man for dead. The violence finally subsided when Watson, perhaps believing he had accomplished his grim objective, retreated into the pizzeria with Dior. Shockingly, he did not attempt to flee the scene. Instead, he remained inside, calmly restraining his dog and waiting for the police to arrive. The victim was left unconscious and critically injured on the sidewalk. His co-workers rushed to his side, attempting to provide aid as they waited for emergency responders. Blood pooled around him, a grim testament to the brutality of the attack. Medics arrived swiftly and transported the victim to Bellevue Hospital, where he was intubated and listed in critical condition. Meanwhile, police entered the pizzeria and arrested Watson without resistance. The pit bull, Dior, was taken into custody by animal control, where it was placed under a 10-day rabies observation hold. The incident left the Flatiron district reeling. Workers and residents, many of whom knew the victim as a kind and hard-working individual, expressed shock and sorrow. The attack was a stark reminder of how quickly violence can erupt in even the most unlikely of places. As the victim fights for his life in the hospital, the community grapples with the aftermath of the violence. Watson now faces charges of attempted murder and assault. His actions captured on surveillance footage that paints a chilling picture of the night's events. The scars of this attack will undoubtedly linger, not only on the victim, but also on a neighborhood left to process the horror of a savage encounter that shattered its sense of safety. What unfolded that night at Roma Pizzeria is a chilling reminder of how quickly a situation can spiral out of control. From an argument over a dog to a violent attack that left a man fighting for his life, this story is both heartbreaking and haunting. Our thoughts go out to the victim, his loved ones, and everyone affected by this tragic incident. Thank you for watching this episode of Savage Tales Animal Encounters. We dive into stories like these to shed light on the unpredictable and sometimes harrowing interactions between humans and animals. And this one is no exception. If you found this story compelling, please take a moment to support the channel. Hit that like button. It helps more people discover stories like this. Share this video with your friends and family to spark conversations about safety, responsibility, and community. Comment below to share your thoughts. How can we prevent situations like this? Should stricter regulations on dogs in public places be enforced? Your voice matters. Subscribe to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters for more gripping, thought-provoking stories that dive deep into the wild and untamed. Ring that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We bring you unforgettable tales every week that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Once again, thank you for spending your time with us and for being part of the Savage Tales community. Your support means the world to us, and remember, Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where humanity meets the untamed. See you in the next adventure.